Welcome to this deep dive into Docker security. Now, we all love Docker for its efficiency and portability in managing our applications using containers. But with great power comes, you guessed it, great responsibility. That's right, we're talking cybersecurity. Think of Docker containers as self-contained units holding pieces of your application. While this isolation is great for managing dependencies, it also means we need to be extra careful about what goes into each container and how they interact. A single weak link, like an outdated image or excessive privileges, can expose your entire system to nasty threats. So in this series, we'll be exploring the crucial security measures you absolutely need to have in place to fortify your Docker environment. We're going to arm you with the knowledge to build, deploy, and run your applications with confidence. Let's get started. Okay, let's talk about Docker images. These are the building blocks of your containerized applications. Imagine them as the blueprints for your containers. Just like blueprints guide the construction of a building, Docker images guide the creation of containers. You wouldn't want to build a house from blueprints riddled with errors, right? The same principle applies to Docker images. Well, using unverified or outdated images is like inviting vulnerabilities and backdoors right into your system. It's a risk you don't want to take. Think of it like this. Every time you pull an image from a public repository, you're essentially trusting the publisher and hoping they've done their due diligence. But how can you be sure? But, as we all know, trust only gets you so far in the digital world. Blind trust can lead to serious security breaches. That's why it's crucial to only use images from trusted sources like official repositories or reputable vendors. These sources are more likely to provide secure and well-maintained images. And don't think that downloading an image once means you're good to go. The digital landscape is always evolving. Just like software needs updates, so do Docker images. Regular updates ensure that you have the latest security patches and features. They often contain security patches and bug fixes that are crucial for maintaining a secure environment. Ignoring these updates can leave your system vulnerable. So make it a habit to regularly update your images to the latest versions. Automation can help streamline this process. But hold on, there's more. Updating isn't the only step you need to take. Before you even think about using an image, take the time to inspect it. Look at the layers and understand what each one does. Check for any known vulnerabilities using vulnerability scanning tools. These tools are essential for identifying potential risks. These tools scan your images against vulnerability databases and alert you to any potential risks. It's like having a security guard for your Docker images. Remember, using a minimal base image is always a good practice. It reduces the number of potential vulnerabilities. The larger your image, the greater the attack surface. A smaller image means fewer places for attackers to exploit. So start with a slim base image and only add the packages and dependencies your application absolutely needs. This keeps your image lean and secure. This not only improves security, but also reduces image size and build times. Faster builds mean more efficient development cycles. So to sum it up, stick to trusted sources, update your images regularly, scan for vulnerabilities, and use minimal base images. These practices form the foundation of a secure Docker environment. It's like locking your doors and windows. It's basic security hygiene for your Docker environment. Don't invite the boogeyman into your system. Now, let's talk about containers and the level of access they have to your system resources. Containers are a powerful tool in modern computing, but with great power comes great responsibility. Think of it like this. A container running with root privileges is like giving someone full access to your house keys, your car keys, your bank account, everything. It's a level of trust that can be easily exploited if it falls into the wrong hands. They can do pretty much anything they want, from stealing sensitive data to installing malicious software. That's why running containers with elevated privileges is a big no-no. It's like leaving your front door wide open in a high-crime neighborhood. If an attacker manages to compromise a privileged container, they hit the jackpot. They can escalate their access and potentially take over your entire system. They gain unrestricted access to your host system, and believe me, you don't want that. The consequences can be devastating, leading to data breaches, financial loss, and reputational damage. The golden rule here is the principle of least privilege. This means giving containers only the permissions they absolutely need to perform their tasks. Only grant containers the absolute minimum privileges they need to function. This minimizes the potential damage if a container is compromised. If a container only needs to access certain files or directories, restrict it to those specific resources. Don't give it the keys to the kingdom if it only needs a single room. This approach significantly reduces the attack surface and makes it harder for attackers to escalate their privileges. Docker provides several mechanisms to manage container privileges. These tools are designed to help you enforce the principle of least privilege effectively. You can use user namespaces to map container users to non-root users on the host system. This way, even if a container is compromised, the attacker won't have root access on the host. This adds an extra layer of security by ensuring that container users have limited permissions. Another powerful technique is to use capabilities. Capabilities break down root privileges into smaller, more granular units. Instead of granting a container full root access, you can grant it specific capabilities, such as the ability to bind to privileged ports or modify network configurations. This way, you can control exactly what a container can and cannot do. This fine-grained control helps in minimizing the risk of privilege escalation. And don't forget about security contexts. These allow you to define security attributes for your containers, such as SELinux labels and AppArmor profiles. These security mechanisms provide an extra layer of protection by enforcing mandatory access control policies. They help ensure that even if a container is compromised, the damage is contained. By implementing these best practices, you can significantly enhance the security of your containerized environments and protect your system from potential threats. Let's shift gears and talk about network security. In the world of Docker, containers can communicate with each other, which is great for building complex applications, but it also introduces potential risks. Think of your Docker environment as a neighborhood. You wouldn't want strangers to have free reign of your home, right? Similarly, you don't want unauthorized containers accessing sensitive data or services within your network. That's where network segmentation comes in. It's all about isolating your containers and restricting network communication to only what's absolutely necessary. It's like building fences between your houses to control who can access what. Docker provides built-in networking features that make implementing network segmentation a breeze. You can create isolated networks for different applications or environments, limiting communication between them. It's like having separate rooms in your house for different purposes. But it doesn't stop there. Docker also supports network policies which act as traffic cops, enforcing granular control over network traffic between containers. You can define rules based on IP addresses, ports, protocols, and even application labels. Remember, effective network segmentation is crucial for containing security breaches. If one container is compromised, you don't want the attacker hopping onto other containers and accessing sensitive information. It's all about limiting the blast radius. All right, let's talk about visibility. Imagine trying to solve a mystery without any clues or evidence. It would be nearly impossible, right? Well, the same goes for securing your Docker environment. Without adequate logging and monitoring, you're essentially flying blind. You won't know what's happening within your containers, making it incredibly difficult to detect and respond to security incidents. Logging is like having a detailed record of all the activities happening within your containers. It's your detective's notebook, providing valuable insights into container behavior, resource usage, and potential security events. Docker provides flexible logging drivers that allow you to configure how your container logs are collected, stored, and analyzed. You can choose to send logs to a central logging system, store them locally, or even stream them to a monitoring tool. But logging is only half the story. Monitoring takes it a step further by providing real-time visibility into your containerized applications. It's like having security cameras installed, allowing you to keep a watchful eye on everything that's happening. Tools like Prometheus and Grafana are invaluable for monitoring your Docker environment. They can collect metrics from your containers, such as CPU usage, memory consumption, and network traffic, and present them in intuitive dashboards. Okay, let's face it, security is all about protecting valuable assets. In the digital world, these assets are often the lifeblood of your organization. In the world of Docker, those assets are your containers and the data they hold. These containers are the building blocks of your applications, and they need to be safeguarded. And just like you wouldn't leave your crown jewels unguarded, you shouldn't leave your containers vulnerable to unauthorized access. Ensuring their security is paramount. That's where authentication and authorization come in. These two pillars of security help you control access and protect your valuable data. Authentication is like having a strong lock on your door. It ensures that only those with the right keys can enter. It verifies the identity of anyone trying to access your containers, ensuring that only authorized users get in. This is your first line of defense. Docker provides several authentication mechanisms, such as using TLS certificates or integrating with external authentication providers. These tools help you establish a secure environment. By implementing strong authentication, you add an extra layer of security, making it much harder for attackers to gain unauthorized access. This multi-layered approach is crucial, but authentication is only the first step. It's not enough to just let the right people in. Once someone is inside, you need to control what they can and cannot do. This is where fine-grained control becomes essential. That's where authorization comes in. It ensures that users only have access to the resources they need. It's like having different levels of clearance within your organization. Each role has specific permissions. Role-based access control, RBAC, is a powerful authorization mechanism that allows you to define roles and permissions for different users or groups. This helps in maintaining order and security. You can specify which actions each role is allowed to perform on which resources. This granularity is key to effective security management. And don't forget about secrets management. This is another critical aspect of securing your containers. Secrets are sensitive pieces of information such as passwords, API keys, and database credentials that your containers need to access to function properly. Protecting these secrets is essential to maintaining the integrity and security of your applications. We've covered a lot of ground, from securing your images to implementing robust authentication and authorization mechanisms. Remember, securing your Docker environment is not a one-time task. It's an ongoing process. Always be on the lookout for new vulnerabilities. Keep your images updated and follow security best practices. By taking a multifaceted approach to security, you can build a robust defense against even the most determined attackers. So, go forth, containerize your applications with confidence, and remember, a secure Docker environment is a happy Docker environment. Stay secure out there.